Alright, so what we have here is a backup app, and what you could use it for is to save different versions of the projects that you're working on. So it kind of is a replacement for, let's say, having a Git repo or having to do it for yourself manually. So all you have to do is provide a project name and a project path, and you can add a comment. So this is kind of similar to in GitHub where you could add a comment and you just save that backup, and you could always restore it for later. So you could save different versions of any project that you're working on quite easily. So I'm just going to do one here. So the last project I worked on was called user function login. So I'm just going to provide the path for that. So it's actually called user registration. So I'm just copying this path. I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to say first commit, or whatever you want to call it. And then I save that backup. It loads for a little while, and then you should be able to see it here. So the user login project, and then we can download it. We can download the app and it would be saved there. So we just go to this location. Alright, so this is the backup that we just did, and we can now extract it out. So we can extract it right here to see, and then we can see we have all our files here, right? So this is great. So going forward, what you could do then is you could just choose the project name, and you could add a comment. Another backup is the comment. I want to put another backup, and then you should be able to save that backup. So you don't need to. Alright, now we're back. So we had a little error there, but so user login project, and then we're just gonna add another backup, and we should be able to save it this time with no errors, and we should be able to see it below here. So this is the one we were just testing. So this is our first commit, this is our another backup, and then we can just keep doing that as many times as we need. So if we see, we actually just made a change to the code, so we can say updated SQL query, added group by for unique project names. Then we can save this. So that's actually the change that we made because we had an error there. So you can see the comment, and then you can download it. You can see when it was created. You can see the actual part of the file. So this is our backups project. So all the backups that you ever did would be listed here, and you can always go back to them and download them, so you can have different versions of your project. In the comments, you can add anything you want. All right. So this is our project. So let's look at the database first, and then we'll look at the code. Alright, so this is the database. We just have a simple one table with the project name, the project path, created at, and the backup path, and then you have your comments there, right? So it's a pretty simple table. It mainly just holds the project path, and then where we the backup path. Alright, so this is all that this does. Again, so the actual files are saved somewhere, so you need to have a backups folder location. So our actual location is in repos.backup, so all our backups are stored there. So when we download them, we need this thing to actually download the backup. But this is the original source part of the project. Alright, so let's get into the code right now. So when you view the code, you'll have some comments here, so you could check out those links to get further information. They are kind of like references to what I was doing. So this is the base directory, or what is the actual backups directory. So this is where we save in all the backups, right? Then you have our get connection, which is normal. This is how we add the information to the database. So we have insert, and then we add the project path, comment, etc. Then we can get our save backups. We just want one here, so get save backup by ID, get all backups, and get unique backups. So this is for the drop down, and we just want we only want to see a specific. We don't want all the backups, right? So we just want specific names. So we just select the information we want, and we say group by project because that is the name of it. So you don't want to have multiple project tools, so you just want one. So we are grouping by the name so that we only get one. So this is the code we use to actually download the file. So we get the path, get current backup, the backup path, and then we call some commands here, some header commands, and will be clean and read file and then die. Alright, so you could look into this further. All these things are pretty straightforward and Googleable, if that's a word. And this is where we're actually doing the saving of the backup. So we get the information within the path, the comments, the project name, and this is whether or not we have an ID. So this is the backup ID. Alright, so yeah, and then what we do here is, this is the part where we actually zip in the directory. So this works just how it works. I've actually never used this before, and I actually have the code reference on top, but it seems to work quite efficiently, so I have no complaints with it. I was trying to do it without the recursive iterator, but I wasn't getting it to work perfectly, so Stack Overflow assisted there. So you can check that out. Again, I have the reference links, but we're using also zip archive, and then we add the path. We have this directory function. We use time. This is how we are naming our backup, so we use time to get that unique number, and then it's a zip file. Alright, and then you close and then you save. Once you have the path that would have been created here, somewhere there, and then you save the backup to the function. Alright, so again, the code is pretty straightforward. You can always check it out. I'll have it uploaded in the Git repo. But yeah, so this is our backups project. Again, it's a really cool and short and simple project that you could use to manage any project that you're working on without having to use a Git repo, or if you don't have any other source control tools, you can do it like this. Instead of having to do it manually yourself, you can just select your project, add your new comment. You don't even need to add a comment, and press save, and you would have saved your new project. So you could always have different versions of the files that you're working on, which is extremely important if you need to go back in time to see any changes that were made. Alright, so that's it.